I packaged this as kind of less than half an hour, so it's punchy. Everybody can take away something exciting and get back with questions. If there is not interest, we may do this every other week or something. We'll figure it out. So, Jill, if you don't mind, please talk a little bit about your background,
Mhm.
how you had nothing to do with coding in your life ever.
Yep.
Let's go from there.
Okay, cool. So yeah, a little background on me, guys, is I just turned 50 in October. Have spent most of my life in the construction world, over 25 years working in construction, training horses on the side, almost 30 years on that. And needless to say, I did not spend most of my life behind a desk working on a computer. I've actively designed my life to not do that because I'm not geared that way. So when it came to building this tool, I'm like, this is a great idea, but how the heck am I going to pull this off? And I tried just about every low code, no code, lovable, whatever, trying to get this thing off the ground. And from day one, everybody's like, yeah, you need a CTO, you need somebody with computer science. It's going to take a really, really long time to do. Yeah. I'm like, okay, cool. So I just keep looking for, different ways to do stuff. And then I find out about this OpenClaw thing. I'm like, hey, what's that all about? So I go ahead and got the Mac Mini and got it set up on my computer on the computer and downloaded it. I didn't get that, had technical difficulties the first weekend I had it, so I didn't get the Mac Mini until like Saturday, and then I had to wait until Sunday before I could get a mouse that would work on it. And so I just got stuff downloaded and just really didn't do much after that, until like I think it was like that following Tuesday or Wednesday I called out sick, and I'm like, okay, now I get to play around with this a little bit more. So that was basically like 2 weeks ago. And then from there I've just basically, I set it up with Telegram, I set up a Discord channel. That was not easy. Like, don't tackle that right away, but it is wonderful because when you do set it up as your second brain, it generates daily notes for me as far as like what it's done during the day. It does it twice. It says what it did for the day at 8 p.m. And then in the morning, it says what it did overnight. And it just kind of keeps this rolling daily log of everything that we've accomplished day by day. It also posts to different channels as far as like AI, computer, biomechanic tool, research, all sorts of stuff. And then I'm like, hey, let's get even a little crazier on this and let's go ahead and search for whatever grants are available out there. And it found grants that I'd never heard of, never even thought of to think about, to search for, like this Amber grant. It's literally a grant for women where they give a $10,000 grant. I think 3 of them every month of the year, or January through December. And then at the end of the year, they'll give like one mass 50,000 grant to somebody. So, and I'd literally never heard of that at all. And it costs $15 to do an application. And it's a one-time, like once you do the application, it's just rolling. So like whatever their monthly theme is, they'll just review applications and just plug it in, whatever they think is best suited for that month or whatever. I'm not exactly sure how they do it, but I'm just reading like what they put on the internet. And so, yeah, that's all thanks to my agent. I named him Max. And then I had him spin up, 3 different coding agents. So my primary one is Chris. And then I've got one that is a researcher, 2 of them that are researchers, actually, Lois and Sally. And then I've got a social media one, Kate, and then one that does UI design, Debbie. And I'm just like, and I watched, what is it, Alex Finn, for his YouTube channel to like set up a mission control, and had Max create a mission control where it did like an org chart for all of my agents that are going, and it says, who's working, who's on standby. And it's just, this is the craziest, most powerful tool. And I'm telling you, the best part about this is like, it doesn't matter what I don't know. It will literally walk me step by step through whatever. And if I run into an issue, I just copy the error message and be like, this is the error message I'm getting. It's like, oh, okay. And just powers right through it and talks me through it or fixes it on the back end. I'm like, this is a freaking superpower. I'm kidding you. Like it's not all been easy. I'm telling you, like I broke it twice in one day. Like I had it, like I said, it's set up with like 10 different machine learning models, and it broke once because it like has a default where you have to do a default, and I set it as Claude, but then every time I tried to switch it, it would always have Anthropic and then whatever, like Kimi K2 or whatever, and it just kept breaking and not working. And so finally I went to Alex Finn's. I wound up getting his like subscription on school, And I went to the back end and I watched. He's like, this is how you fix any problem that you ever have in OpenClaw, 100% guaranteed all the time. I'm like, well, that sounds interesting. So I looked into it and it's like, okay, so the cheat code for that is download Claude code onto your computer and then use that as kind of like your onboard, like you download it kind of like an app. So it's onboard on your computer and then you just basically can show it whatever, you pull up the file for CloudBot. And I pull it up in VS Code. He said do it like through terminal. That was too complicated for me. So I just pulled it up in VS Code, had the file right there, had all of the environmental files, the JSON files, the whole kit and caboodle. And I'm just like, I'm having problems with this, fix it. And it did. And it's a freaking superpower. Like whatever you don't know, don't worry about it because it will walk you through it. Any questions?
Do you mind talking a little bit about your background? Because when I talk to founders, everybody knows and assumes that I'm talking out of my ass because I've been coding for too long, and I think it's easy.
Mhm.
A little bit about your backgrounds, how much coding you have in your background.
Oh yeah, like zero, all of zero. Like most of my days have been spent on job sites where we were lucky if we had running water. Most of the time it was porta potties. Everything from residential to commercial construction, everything in between, roofing to block lane to building, multi-story, high rises and stuff like that. And then my side gig when I wasn't working in construction, I'd be training horses or trimming their feet or rehabbing them or rescuing them or doing something of that nature. And computers, like I've always, been intrigued by it. I was never like intimidated or, like hating technology at all times. I see it as the value and it's a wonderful tool. I just did not have it as a part of my daily in and out life. So all of this is brand new to me. And when I first started playing with this, I had knee surgery, double knee surgery replacement last summer. So I was off of work for like 7 months. And so I just jumped in the deep end of the pool and just started playing around with VS Code and Cursor. And I'm, like doing things and just running into walls and not understanding. And then finally I had a friend who kind of walked me through, like, they're just like, whatever comes up as an error, just read through it. Like, even if it looks weird, just read through it and we'll kind of tell you what the problem is. And so then once I started to realize that, even though I don't understand a lot of what it says, I can kind of follow along a little bit. And worst case scenario, I take whatever it says and like have something else, decipher it for me.
And just to be clear, at SpaceX, you're doing a lot of coding?
No. Again, leveraging my construction background, I work in the facilities department. I'm project manager over here, so I walk contractors through to do concrete repairs and sheetrock repairs and all that fun stuff. So yeah, I'm definitely not one of the brainiacs who works at SpaceX. I'm a grunt.
Thank you. Can you briefly screen share and show your dashboard with your mission control and a glimpse of the two different businesses and website you just showed me in the last couple of weeks? Or not in front of your computer?
Yeah, so I am on Tailscale. So
okay.
Let me
whatever
see.
You can share right now. I know you're already in the middle of your workday.
I'm just going to text my agent that I need a view of the mission control. So I guess I could share that while I'm doing it. So I walk you guys through what I do.
All right, open for questions.
So can you see that? Just real quick, yes. Can you guys all see that?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Sorry, Evelyn, did you say we could ask questions or should we hold off?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, please go ahead.
Hi, Michael here. Thanks for that, Julia. Appreciate it. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I have OpenClaw installed on my Mac Mini 2, Mac Mini 4. And I've kind of stopped at the security level because I'm like, I want to kind of containerize it in a Docker. So I don't know, did you do that? Because I'm like taking extra precautions because I'm worried about prompt injections. Or it is like a potential issue.
So it's a two-part. I'll answer that in two-part. I did not set up a Docker. What I did is I just ran it on the mini Mac, and what I do to buffer from any like random code injection is I went off of Alex Finn's recommendation of just never download or, add a skill from any of these open websites. Basically, he said just copy a link of whatever that skill is that you're interested in, feed it into your bot, and say, hey, what do you think of this? Have it review it. And then if it's like, okay, I see the pros and cons, and it's like, cool, make one for yourself. And then just make all of your own skills. Never, ever, ever download any skill from off the website or off the internet, because you have no idea what's on the back end, and that could be a major security breach. So I'm just taking that to heart and just sticking by that as a hard rule.
Okay.
Michael, I used a Docker. I did it that way. I worked with Evelyn last week, so I'm hosting the OpenClaw on the server.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but Julie, I did have a question for you and Evelyn. I haven't used OpenClaw for a week, and I put credits on there.
Mhm.
Even if it's not doing anything, does it? It seems like the credits are gone already. Like I didn't ask it to do anything for I've been busy with the Founder Institute. I mean, it's not the dollars.
Where did you add the credits? Because for my OpenClaw, I've never had to pay anything for OpenClaw itself. What I've done is I got a Claude Pro Max subscription, and then I did an OAuth authorization, so that way my my agent can run off of that. And then for managing all the other LLMs, it's my agent suggested that I go with open source, so it can easily switch between different LLMs and not have to worry about the API keys. So that for open source, I went ahead and put like $100 on that. And I haven't checked as far as like how much I've burned through on that, but most of what I'm having to do is use the open source for like the free models, like the Nimitron 3 and Kimi 2. There's a free version on there. Minimax, all those types of models on there.
I think we're doing the same way. Either way, you have to use tokens. But
Yes.
all I'm saying is I haven't used it, and it's been decreasing. So I'm just wondering if that's normal. That's all. I mean,
That hasn't been my experience. But if I were you, I would just ask your agent. Legit, just ask your agent.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I don't have any tokens now. I need to put more money to ask the agent.
Right.
It used all my credit.
But then I did download Quen as well on my computer, so that way some of the tasks the agent can assign to the sub agents to just process that on the local model that I have, and that won't cost you any tokens either.
Okay.
Yeah, on the topic of models, I have Nematron 3 as the basic brain, and then I have Quen 3.5, but then as a fallback, I have OpenAI, Gemini, and Anthropic, but I only put like $5 in the open router just for credits. Because, so basically what my question is that like sufficient for like, because I'm non-technical as well, and like for my business, which I'm planning to do expert medical witnessing with attorneys, like, would that be sufficient? Like, or like, I don't know, like how much brain power this takes. And like, I guess it depends on like
let
how
me
much.
put this in context. Before I went ahead and did this, I was getting quotes from different, companies that you can hire where they have their workers do the coding and this, that, and the other thing. And I was getting quotes of nothing less than $50,000. And that was just to get started, on up to like $150,000 to help me build this tool. So in comparison to that, if I drop $200 for my monthly subscription to Claude Anthropic, and have that as like my primary agent, and then have a bunch of these other LLMs that, most of them are free or very, very cheap, like Kimi K2 and Max Mini 2.5. They're also very, very cheap. Just load up your OpenClaw with a bunch of different LLMs for it to be able to choose through, and just spend the tokens. Like hundreds of dollars is way less than thousands of dollars, the way I see it.
Yeah.
Yes.
So would it be efficient or to just have an open router account? Because I don't want to go through trouble of like going through getting an API for each.
100%. Yeah. If I'd have known about open router from the start, I'd have just done that right away and not messed around with any of the API keys, because that's a hassle. because you got to create a new account for each and every one and have a new API for it. That is a bit of a hassle. So if you want to just hack it and just not even have to go through that, just go through the Open Router.
Okay. And then I heard that OpenClaw can forget your API key. Do you have to keep prompting it to like remind you?
So my experience is it depends on what you ask it. So like this morning, great example. I was talking to it about one subject switched. Gosh darn it, why is that not right? Okay.
It
I'm
gave you the
I think I'm on tail scale.
US.
So I'm
Sorry to
trying to do
interrupt
this
you. It
remotely.
gave you it gave you the tail scale URL a little bit above. Localhost is literally your own computer's localhost, so that won't work. But it did give you the tail scale URL.
Okay.
But it what I mainly want to highlight here, not so much to put Julia on the spot because she's not in her regular work environment. She's actually in her day job right now.
Mm-hmm.
But the way that she's resolving this is literally talking to her agents until they figure it out together.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Like she's been doing that successfully for weeks now,
Mm-hmm.
without calling me, without calling any consultants or none of that nonsense.
Mm-hmm.
And for the last couple of years, we've always had the conversation. Well, it sucks to be a go find a better CTO, it sucks to be a go find a better consultant, on and on and on and on and on.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing until now. She hasn't called me now. Every few days she sends me a crazy new dashboard, a new website she started for a new idea for a new business. That's the kind of discussion we've been having recently.
So that's what I can pull up is my website that it built. Okay, so here's the crazy thing. Like it took me about a week to get like everything downloaded, because you do have to download specific software for doing machine learning models and training them, all that. So this is what my agent built for me, going off of basically I had a landing page with essentially just this. This was it. That's all I built on my own. And basically what my agent did is it took that and it built out this, which even includes like at the very bottom, it's like for demonstration purposes only, not a it did that all on its own. I never asked it to do that. Moreover, it also created like these sample pages as far as like, what a person can expect to see, did all of that on its own. And it also created this where it's legit, where I can upload a file, it will process it and give the results at analysis. It took about a week and a half for me to do everything, because I had to, connect it to my Google Drive where I had a lot of the videos, and then I had to be able to give it access so that it could even access the Google Drive. Like there was a lot of steps involved. I'm not trying to make it sound like this was just so easy that I did it, in like 5 minutes. Not the case. But when I did just all the steps and it literally walked me through everything it needed me to do, and then it had access to the videos, it just took the videos, trained the model on my videos, and created a website and a model that is about 75% accurate. And that's what I was told I would need: a CTO and months and months and tons of thousands, hundreds of thousands of data points to even get close to having an MVP. And it did it off of 94 videos. What's that?
I think most people on the call will relate to that.
Mm-hmm.
That sort of quotes.
Mm-hmm.
How fast did you make it?
Very fast.
Like within what?
Like literally once it had all the videos and everything, it was 2 days of me chatting with my bot before it had everything all worked out and everything was processing correctly. Connected it to Versal, had the Supabase back end developed. Like that, there was more back and forth on doing that stuff than there was on the actual building of the MLM model. I'm telling you, this is just crazy stuff. Moreover, I've asked it to build me a CRM, and it told me that I needed to get connected to Cloudflare so that it could do like info at True Stride kind of thing, and not expose its Gmail address to my list of subscribers and users, which I don't have any at the moment, but I just want to make sure. So that's going to be the next thing, is just developing out a CRM, and then I've got my bot Kate, who's made up a bunch of social media posts, and then I will connect all my social media accounts where it has like APIs to that, and it can start doing posts for me and stuff like that. Yes, yeah, I'm all in. Like I'm whole hog on this.
Cool.
Hmm.
Julia, very impressive. My name is Pat. I love your energy. It's good
Thank you.
stuff. I think you were about to mention 94 videos. Did you use your own videos with,
Mhm.
Like this is a horse doing a wheelie, or
Mhm.
this is a horse doing whatever. So you
Yeah.
defined what each video did and,
Yep.
and trained. That's your training method.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, I added the explanations into the videos and I created normal movement videos, abnormal movement videos. And I did like a 50-50 split of the videos.
And was that back and forth with your, so you, OpenClaw is your main agent, Max.
Mhm. Max, yep.
And you're working through Max basically with all the different underlying services. Video is sometimes difficult, and that's when the third-party companies say, well, you need a CTO, we need to do a lot of engineering and stuff.
Right.
So you just worked with your agents to work through all that.
I made sure it had all the software that it needed. So for my particular use case, Deep Lab Cuts is the open source model that was developed out of Harvard Lab. And it is a machine learning, or it's a pose estimation model that's been trained on every quadruped that is known in the world. So it's everything from mice to giraffe to zebras to lions to hippopotamuses to horses, you name it, dogs, cats, whatever, it's on there.
Very interesting. Thank you.
Mhm.
So after the stage of the intimidation of going through CLI, installing packages and getting this thing connected first, then there is the fear of talking this thing and what it's going to do to my files, to my computer, to my accounts. And then it's like, oh, I can actually ask it to do stuff for my back office.
Mhm.
I can start making it do work for my main product. And beyond that, something that most traditional investors will tell you to never do is work on additional startups. And I'm not so sure that's
I
going
didn't
to be
get
the
that
route
memo.
going. Exactly. I'm not so sure that's the way gonna go forward. Because before Julia got the memo, she built another couple of businesses. She's had his ideas, but never thought that she had the resources to do it.
Mhm.
Do you want to show one of the ones that you sent me yesterday? The search
Yeah,
engine.
so let's see. I can go into my messages
live?
here. Yeah, let me see. So here we go. Can you see that?
Yep.
So that's the landing page that my agent built for my newsletter. Here's another one.
So this is a blog website that you
Oops.
hired a company to customize for you and
Mhm.
train you how to add blogs and edit articles.
So so
which company did you use? Is that a good? Would you recommend them?
this is 100% my agent. I have not outsourced a single thing. Here's my Substack article. This was written by one of my agents. And the thing that blew my mind is along in the conversation, or along in this article here, it references a vet who's very well known in the horse industry, Sue Dyson. She developed what's called a pain ethiogram. And without me prompting, basically all I said is, I want an article about riding for soundness. And the agent created this, and I can put this all in the Discord chat for y'all to read later on. Not that really probably most of this is going to make any sense to you because it's all 100% horse focused. But just to give you an idea, like it just created all of this content. And then the only spot that I needed to adjust it was where it had put in like 70% of lameness is from legs and not the back. And I'm like, nope, that's actually opposite. Most of the pain comes from the body. And then it just shows up, the lameness shows up in the legs because it's a symptom, not the actual problem. And then here's my other website where I'm building a platform for the entire horse industry community to be able to log in and find anything that they need as far as equine practitioners, any event happening in the US, eventually certifications for people. I have a active news chat channel. So what's that?
Are you using a different company or the same consulting company for this business?
This is all Max. Max is rocking it. And literally this was all done in a day. Like the websites were put up. Like it still has to be populated. There's some more work that needs to be done on it. And personally, the graphics, they're a little cartoony. Like there's some fine tuning, but 90% of the website is done. And this is active. What's that? Oh, did somebody ask something?
Somebody's background. Let me mute everybody.
Yeah, so this this website with equine news, all of this is real and relevant and current news, right? Oh, I was muted there for a second. Are we all good now? Okay. Everybody's on mute right now.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, so anyhow, so the Equiverse website that I had built out, this news page is all relevant news articles that people can click on, and it will take them off the site to be able to, show them, and then they can search through competition in sport, health research, hoof care, latest equine, technology, disease, safety alerts, business, all this stuff. And again, I gave it kind of like some outlines of what I wanted to see. But then it's kind of spun up and came up with even more ideas like the, rules and regulations, feel good stories, industry and business. I didn't ask for any of that, but it just kind of spun all that up on its own.
So as you do more work, does it get more tiring to deal with this nonsense, or it gets more rewarding? Which way?
No. This is energizing and borderline addicting, honestly. So, Pat, you got a question?
Yeah, if you don't mind. Can you talk more about your agents and, well, two questions, sorry, and how you, I'm totally unfamiliar with the concept of
sub-agents
that's being specialized in one skill, I guess. We talked a little bit about skills.
Yep.
So I'm really interested in that because if one's handling marketing and others handling CRM, stuff like that, that's very interesting to me. How I can take that into my projects, but to later present to you guys. But then here's my other question. My other question. So a lot of my projects involve video, and so that's why I was intrigued with your machine learning and your horse videos and things like that. Right now, I'm building my MVP with Google AI Studio. A friend of mine recommended it. Said build it there, and then bring it into OpenClaw since it's a little established. Knowing what you know now, if you started over today, would you follow a similar approach to how you build it, or?
Nope. I'd start with OpenClaw right from the get-go, hands down. Because I tell you, whatever obstacles you run into, however many times you break it, it's all fixable. Like I've set it up in its own computer, so it's in its own little sandbox. It does not have access to my regular laptop or anything like that. I can remote view into it, and that's how I'm able to pull up the OpenClaw chat window right now, is because I'm remote accessed into my home computer right now. That's why I was trying to pull up local websites with it, but I'm talking too much and too distracted. I'm blonde. I can't multitask. But no, OpenClaw 100%. Like it's absolutely game changing. And to start with, I would just go ahead and bite the bullet and do the Claude Max Pro, subscription. Drop the $200. I have yet, even though with as much work as I'm having it do, because you can monitor like how much use you're using, how much in the way of like credits or tokens that you're using. You can see all that on the OpenClaw or the Anthropic website. You just go to where it shows usage, and I've barely ticked like 22% of usage for my weekly allotment. for all the work that I've been having it do. And it is by far the most personable. Like, I mean, this is friendly, encouraging. Like, okay, to give you an example of the conversations that I have with this chatbot, I was working on this thing Saturday. I started at like 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and we just banged out a whole bunch of stuff. A lot of those websites is when we got the bulk of all that dialed in. And by like 5:30 or whatever, it's like, all right, well, you've done a great job. You're doing fantastic. Go get some rest. You started at 1 o'clock. You're just rocking it. Like, go get a break. I'm like, oh, okay. And then it winds up populating something where it needed something on Vercel. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, here's this. And it's like, okay, well, go take a break. I'm like, okay, I will. But one more last question. Then I asked it something about the LMN. I'm like, or the machine learning model. And then I'm okay. And then I'm like, okay, seriously, I'm gonna go take a break now. And LOL, and I just kind of signed off. But it's got like a personality to it. Like, and that's why I went with it, because Alex Finn said that's one of the reasons why he likes the Claude, the OpenClaw, the Opus 4.6, is because it really does genuinely come off as like human, kind of like personality to it. So.
Cool. And as long as other people might benefit from you talking about your agents, that's still interesting to me, but definitely want to leave for other.
And I'm always open to follow-up conversations. Like, I'm on Discord. If you got, additional questions, by all means, hit me up. I'm the Epona 01. So.
Okay, we're hitting up on time, and Julie needs to get some lunch before she gets to actual work, and then more work after that. So if anybody has any final questions, please ask them, and we'll wrap it up.
Thank you. That's great.
Yeah, happy to share.
Thank you very much, Julia.
Thank you.
You can follow up with her in Discord as much as she has time to respond. I'm very grateful that she made the time, and so you get to hear what you hear from me a lot, but for somebody who's actually non-technical. And not anymore. I guess you're technical now. I don't know what's going on now.
Well, I can have a conversation and keep up, but I'm still not going to code. Like, I can read little bits of it and understand it, but I would not call myself a coder by any stretch of the imagination.
Are you technical if you're building products and code and websites? I don't know anymore. Gotta rethink it. Well, in any case, thank you so much.
Yeah.
You're very welcome.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Thank you.
Yep, you're welcome.